Hi, everybody. It is Wednesday the 14th or Thursday the 15th of April, and I'm going to go through a little bit about what we've been working on. Remember that we are working on the prediction strategy. The last time we did, of course, that's in the green booklet. You can also find it in Schoology in the pink prediction strategy folder if you're ever absent, and remember to do one story every 2 days. So we only do 2 stories a week now because we're together only 2 days. So pink folder, prediction strategy stories, and we're on 4D today. So we're on the passages for 4A through E. You'd open those up and there's the comprehension tests. Otherwise, you have your booklet in class and then you're just working through the story together, okay? Or sometimes on your own, I'll set the timer. So last time we did 4C crickets, grasshoppers, and katydids. So we did 4C last time. So if you didn't do that one, you should do crickets, grasshoppers, katydids on your own, page 34. Do your answers, send them to me, and then I'll correct them, and then you can plot that. And then we are going to do 4D today, which is Leaf the Lucky, and that's 4D. So remember, you're always looking at the questions first. You do clue in your head. You can put that down on your reading assignment sheet 3-4 if you want. We did some of those together as well. So Leaf the Lucky will be today. And just a reminder, there is no in-person learning on 419 and 20. We'll be in all distance learning next Monday, Tuesday. Remember, go to the blue distance learn folder for the days that you're either A, distance learning, based on your group, or B, if you're in quarantine, sick, have an appointment, whatever. I'll have everything in the distance learn folder. Sometimes I'll have a video such as this. So next week, you will see here's 412 and 13 for Monday, Tuesday, and then I'll put one here for Wednesday, Thursday, as well as Friday. Okay, Wednesday, Thursday. This is actually for Friday. I got to edit that. That should say 416, not 414. Okay, so any questions on that, email me as we go through. So making sure that you remember distance learner quarantine stuff was here. I'll put another link with this video in that area for distance learn. So don't forget, that's where you look for stuff. It's all in the blue distance learn folder the days that you're not physically here, whether it's quarantine or just a distance learn day. This is where things will be located. Okay, so email me if you have any questions on that. I also have some teaching videos in there from time to time, or just a page that tells you what's due or what's up. Okay, so I've corrected that at this time because I had the wrong date for Fridays. All right, so back here, no in-person learning Monday, Tuesday. It's all distance because of MCAs. So now we're going to go to Leaf the Lucky, story 4D. Okay, Leaf the Lucky, page 36. I'm going to read the story to you and the questions as well as clue. So if you're looking at Leaf the Lucky, again, page 36, the questions are on page 79. And it says, Leif Erikson was the first. Leif Erikson was born in, so you got to know where he was born. Historians believe that Leif landed, where did he land? The date of an early Vinland settlement was determined by radiocarbon dating of, number 5, Leif earned his nickname Leif the Lucky when he, 6, a word to describe Leif Erikson is, 7, you can conclude from the article that early explorers like Leif Erikson, 8, before radiocarbon dating, scientists had, 9, without proof, historians, and 10, the true story about Leif Erikson's discovery of America. All right. Then you do clue in your head to Leif the Lucky. You obviously can see the title of the story. It's got some ships, discovery maybe, by sea of land, you might say. If you just glance at some of the words within the article, you see that it's talking about AD 980, so a long time ago. Leif was 19 when he went on a voyage. Then you can link to prior knowledge. Well, you know way back when that the world was discovered by different people and people wanted to start to claim land. Maybe you know that. You uncover a prediction. Well, you might predict why is Leif lucky, maybe because something he discovered. Maybe you want to predict that. Then you read it and then you do the E part. So I'm going to read it now. Again, we're on page 36, or you're online in the pink folder where these stories are, and this is story 4D. The first European to land on North American continent was a Viking, Leif Erikson. Son of the explorer Eric the Red, Leif was born in Iceland in around AD 980. When Leif was about 2 years old, Eric took his family to Greenland. The boy grew up in Brattahlid, now the village of Kersaruk on the southwest coast. At 19, Leif voyaged to Norway, where he spent a winter at the court of Norway's Christian king. When he returned home, he converted his mother to Christianity. She built the first church in Greenland. Its foundations and those of other Viking buildings may be seen in Keserasuk. There are different versions of how Leif discovered America. According to the saga of Eric the Red, he was blown off his course on his return from Norway and was carried westward to the continent. Another saga, the saga of the Greenlanders, says that in 985 Bjarne Herjolfsson saw land, probably the coast of North America, but did not go ashore. Years later, in Greenland, Leif bought a ship from Bjarne, gathered a crew of 35, and set off for the unknown land. They put ashore at a place described as a barren tableland of flat rocks backed by great ice mountains. They called this area the Land of Flat Stones, or Helluland. Going to sea again, the Vikings dropped anchor off a level, wooded land with broad stretches of white sand, which they called Markland, forest land. Once again they sailed southward. This time they went ashore where the land was green with self-sown wheat trees and sweet wild grapes. They named the place Vinland, which means wine land, and here they built shelters and spent the winter. Historians believe that Leif landed somewhere on the northernmost tip of Newfoundland on the Strait of Belle Isle. The theory was confirmed in 1963 after a Norwegian expedition uncovered the remains of a Viking settlement near the fishing village. Radiocarbon dating of charcoal found in hearths show that the site was used in approximately AD 1000. Two early 15th century books also confirm the Vikings' settlement. Leif earned his nickname Leif the Lucky on his trip home to Greenland, when he rescued a shipwrecked party of 15. Thorfinn Karlsefni, an Icelander, established a colony in Vinland. This colony of 160 men and 5 women spent 3 years at Leif's wintering place. Karlsefni's son, Snorri, was the first child of European descent born in North America. The remains found by the Norwegian expedition may be those of Karlsefni's colony. So now I'm going to set the timer for 5 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to just set the timer for 5 minutes and you should be completing your questions to the story. When you're done, work on your vocab set 9 or your reading assignment sheet 3-4. So 5-minute timer to complete the questions 1 through 10, then we'll correct them, we'll plot them, and then we will move on. Okay, so let's set the timer for 5. Go ahead and begin. Okay, so now we're going to get out your answers, of course, and we're going to correct Leaf the Lucky 1 through 10. So here we go. Number 1 is C, 2, B, 3 is A, 4, C, 5, B, 6, C, 7, B, 8, C, 9, B, 10, A. Okay, any questions on those? If not, go ahead, plot your chart for 4D, Leaf the Lucky on your plot chart. If you're absent, you'll have your score and you can plot it when you get back on your chart. Okay, so at this time we're going to make a transition and we are going to move into vocab set 9. So open up your vocab set 9. Again, that may be by paper, but if you don't have the vocab set 9, you can always open it up from the vocab folder in Schoology where you see the orange folder. Remember, we already did vocab set 8. You should have handed in the steno pad and taken the test on vocab set 8, and now we're on vocab set 9. Okay, so open up the steno pad to that. It is here. Anything you need for, if you need your prefix, suffix, root word charts, because you don't have your binder if you're at home, remember that if you have other vocab materials, it's in here, the prefix, suffix, root word charts, so that you can break words apart. So they're right here, prefix, suffix, root word charts. Okay, so again, we are on set 9. So today's words that I'm going to help you with are manual and command. Manual and command. So I'm going to, I got to make this smaller screen. So let's think of manual first. Let's think of manual first. So if you think about manual and what part of that word seems like another part, if you think of manual, you might say to yourself, well, man kind of seems like it should be something. Maybe you all or manu or al. So if you looked it up in your prefix, suffix, root word charts, you would find that for prefix, for manual, there is not a prefix. Okay? You have to have a root word, but you don't have to have a prefix. So manu, okay, manu would be the root word for manual. Manu, anything that's done manually is by hand. So manu is hand. And then suffixes are always at the end of words. So if you look at manual, the last letters are al. So if you look that up on your prefix, suffix, root word chart, you would see that al means relating to. Okay, so a definition, if you think of it, it's relating to working with one's hands. Relating to working with one's hands. Okay, so your own hands. 2 other words for manu. Okay, so you think of a manu word. So you do that part on your own. Whoops, didn't mean to advance my screen there. Okay, so you think of a manu word. You think of your own. And then al, let's say exceptional. Exceptional. Okay, then you have to use manual in a sentence and one of your other words in a sentence. So I read the manual to learn something new. Okay, so probably something written by hand, the manual, like how to change a light bulb in your car manual. Okay, then you use one of your other words. Okay, so here you used manual. Then you use one of your other words. Let's use exceptional since his writing was exceptional and won awards. So you know it's like super awesome if it's exceptional. Okay, and then the other word that we were doing together today is command. Command. Again, you'd use your prefix, suffix, word charts. Don't forget to put the letters for the prefix. Don't just put the definition. So like if you cooperate, that is with or together. The root word it's usually in the middle or beginning. It's manned. Manned. And that is order. And then there is no suffix, none. Okay, and then the definition for command. The definition for command is an order. It's not just an order given by anybody, but an order given, so I don't know why that keeps doing that. An order given by authority. Okay. Then you have to think of a co-word, like cooperate would be a co-word, and a manned word. Okay. A manned word. You think of a manned word. Okay. Then, if we think of a sentence, okay, command, you think of a sentence. You think of one for command. Okay? Like if you give your dog a command and they do it, maybe they get a treat. Okay? And then I want you to follow along and cooperate during class. So be with me. Follow along and cooperate. All right, so that is for cooperate, one of the other words. So we just completed the two words manual and command. And remember, your vocab set 9 is due next Wednesday, Thursday after Distance Learn, Monday, Tuesday. Then we'll do a little Quizlet together and you'll have a paper test for vocab set 9. Okay, so now we're on to a transition so you can set your vocab away, and we're going to move on to part 3, which is direct instruction with our book Brothers in Arms. So get out your put away vocab stuff and get out your warm-ups for Brothers in Arms. Some of you are doing them on paper, but they're also here in the Brothers in Arms folder. Okay, so for Brothers in Arms, we are reading chapter 8 today. We're reading chapter 8, so you'll want to be on the second set of warm-ups because this one was already due last Monday, Tuesday, worksheet 1 through 5. So we're going to look at the Brothers in Arms worksheets starting with 6 and 7 today. So you want to make sure and you find that the worksheet, I will add it to the folder because I didn't add it yet for worksheets 6 through 9. So you want to make sure that you open it up so that you have it. So I'm going to add it to that folder from our class here, okay? Because some of you don't have it in that folder. Don't forget, if you're waiting for me, make sure that you finished worksheets 1 through 5 and submitted 1 through 5. Okay, don't forget, worksheet 1 through 5 should have been submitted at this time so that you have it. Okay, so right now we're on worksheet 6 and 7. Worksheet 6 and 7, we already, hopefully you submitted 1 through 5. So I'm going to open up that document for worksheet 6 and 7, 8, 9, so the second section, the second part. Okay, so for Brothers in Arms, again, you read through chapter 7 for today. So we're going to start with chapter 8. So you read through chapter 7, and you know what happened between Steve and Martin for chapter 7. And when something erupts, it breaks out in something. And if somebody's blindsided, they're sucker punched. And if people are scrambling, they're moving around quickly. Then you had to agree or disagree about Martin getting suspended from school for fighting. Steve will get in as much trouble. Martin will rat Steve out to the principal. Okay, so these were all chapter 7 things where Steve and Martin got in the fight. And who started it, and why doesn't Martin tell the principal what's going on? So today we're going to start with chapter 8. So a large stack of student papers was on his desk, and he was hunched over reading one of them, hunched over to have an idea, to bend in an arch or think deeply, to bend over, kind of hunch over, to bend over. At least I was not the only scrub who got in trouble during the first week. You know, when you scrub something, you might wash it, but in this sentence, it's not a popular person, it's a loser. A loser. I was the kid who caused a disturbance in the class and got suspended. Well, if you got suspended, it's probably not a good thing. So it's not making everyone happy or making the teacher happy. It's causing a problem. Letter A. Then, everything okay? A janitor asked, opening the door and peering in. Okay, so peering in, if you're looking in, to look in. That was pass interference, an older man said. Interference is to kind of get in the way, like in football, interference. And Teresa looked at me as if I had just mugged her mother. Mugged, questioned, chased, laughed at, or robbed. When somebody gets mugged, they get robbed. Somebody takes stuff from them, okay? So that was the warm-ups to chapter 8. Okay, so now I'm going to back up here and wanted to make sure that you understand we just did the warm-ups to chapter 8. I'm going to stop the video at this time because we will be listening to chapter 8 on the audio. Don't forget that the audio is also in the Brothers in Arms folder. So if you forgot your book at school in your binder, or you don't have it with you in your bag, then you can just listen to chapter 8 on the audio book that is in our folder in Schoology. Okay, so I'm going to stop the video here. Don't forget you're listening to chapter 8 today, and making sure that you finish chapter 8, your prediction strategy plot chart, that would be 4A through 4E, is not going to be due until April 27th, now that we have different learning styles. So it's going to be due April 27th, 4A through E, and 3A through E. Then you have your Steno 9 test, not on the 13th anymore because we went into hybrid. So it's going to be 422 vocab 9, 421 and 422. It depends on what group you're in. Okay. So, and then we'll have the test next Wednesday and Thursday in class. It's on paper. And then the warm-ups for worksheet 6 to 9 is going to be due a little bit later because we went into hybrid. So that'll be on the 22nd. And book assignment sheet was due today, 4-14 through Thursday, 4:15, depending on your group. So I'm going to stop the video. We will be doing direct instruction, listening to chapter 8 in Brothers in Arms. And don't forget to complete chapter 8, reading assignment sheet 3-4, vocab 9 we're working on, worksheet 6, 7, 8, 9, to Brothers in Arms.